How's it going, guys? Chris back here again with some more historic Brawl. Today, checking out goblins. Um, back in Ixalan Standard, mainly due to Dominaria, not Dominaria Mastered. What was it? Wasn't Dominaria United? I think it was just Return to Dominaria. The set name is escaping me. But during that standard, goblins were a very powerful, very omnipresent tribe, and we do have to attack with them, boy. That's very sad. Um, yeah, the tribe was very popular, and as we approach Ixalan, the nostalgia is kicking up for these type of tribal decks. Like I've played an obscene amount of tribal decks in the past few days. Rubbish, not rubbish. Rubble Belt Riders. Goblin Trash Master, doing good work. It took me a long time to realize because I don't get to play as many paper games these days as I used to, but here is one of those cards that has an actual paper effect. And it's not what you see in Arena. She does something completely different. I'm pretty sure she's one of the ones. There are like 5 or 6 cards that are like that. And I'm not ashamed to admit that I did not figure that out very quickly. We're hoping to hit a Haste Goblin off of our Muxus. Muxus was not around at the time, but he's just obscenely good at being Gobo. And we have a lot of Goblin commanders, but none quite as good at being Gobo commanders. Rude. My boy died. Matchmaster, you will be missed. I'll take 14. I don't know if you've ran into the Gobo plan before, opponent, but we don't really care about what happens to us. Opponent? Red? The poor Suicide Goblin. He just attacks in even though he's gonna die every time. Legion Warboss is like, yeah, go get him, and it never ends well. But he still trusts Legion Warboss. That's pride there, man. So I guess we're just rolling Muxus and hoping for the best. Trying not to die. Ouch. Oh. How many cards do we look at? 6? Not nearly enough. Okay, that was reasonable. We're gonna go out, but we're not gonna go out without taking any life from our opponent. We got him sub 10. That's pretty good. I don't know. I am really ready for the new Ixalan set. I don't know. My magic my magic, magic creative juices have just not been flowing. And I was thinking of a better way to say that, but I just never found it. It's very, very unfortunate. So I guess I take 9 and die. Yeah, and I don't know. The only thing I've been interested really in playing recently has been random nostalgia tribes, which is not necessarily the most exhilarating content, I am aware. It'll change here very shortly. Like, this video will go up, ooh, I think, on the 12th, which means there are only 2 more videos before we have Caverns of Ixalan stuff to do. And it is a wonky, weird, kind of cool set. I don't know if I've ever talked about, because I've talked about Balefire Dragon being the first mythic I've ever opened. The second mythic was from, God, what was that set called? Avacyn Restored, and it was uh, Descent into Madness. You do the 5-mana black enchantment that basically says at the beginning of a player's upkeep, put a counter on it. That player sacrifices a number of permanents equal to the number of counters on it. So you end up playing this weird game where you end up like sacrificing everything. Well, not everything, right? Because the person who played it has to choose when to put an end to the madness. Because it is an enchantment, so it is the permanent, and you will have to sacrifice it at some point. It just depends on how long you're willing to wait. How much of your opponent's board are you willing to let them sacrifice to achieve a state that you would consider somewhat parity? Right, because if you play it on a board with no permanents and your opponent has a bunch of permanents, you end up sacrificing a land for every like 1/1 token they sacrifice, and that's very, very bad. Like, the card is not good, but the reason I bring it up is because it reminds me a little bit of Caverns of Ixalan. It's just artwork depicting descending into a massive hole. I think I just go Gobo. Yeah, I think I just go Gobo. So that we can cast our boy next turn. And if not, we Starve Extinction. Like, if our opponent runs out the team this turn, we can knock him back a land and take out the team. Like, that feels like it could cripple our opponent. I don't know, but I think the story of Caverns of Ixalan is that there are a bunch of caverns below, uh, below, I guess where the Sun Empire would be. That's bad. Nope, that's bad. Easy. Opponent, I played my commander. You've played your commander. We've all played our commander. I will have to take out the Rafine's Tower, I think. Yeah, I don't have a way to take out the enchantment, though. Like, it's with a problem. I should have held up to Vault Trickery. The one activation of this, a planar bridge type effect, is better than having it be a permanent fixture. Opponent. I think I will swing at you a bit. What do you think of that? Don't do that. Do we just double down? Just triple down? Just triple down, I think. Maybe the Gobo plan is just a Gobo, you know? like to not worry about answering the board state or who has the most mana or things like that. It's just to do the murdering. To murder as many permanents or to murder as many opponents as possible. There's only one, right? But as many times as possible, we have to go for the damage. I think that's the plan with the Gobos. I kind of want Muxus to die now, too, because he's just a bit useless on the board when he didn't grab anything, right? Like, he's good as a value engine. He's also good at attacking, I suppose, but, like, you got counterspelled opponent. What did they... The Wanderer, okay. There goes my commander. Very neat trade-off we just had. Darn nabbit. That could be a problem. Just like the problem that I exiled my commander permanently. Everything at Wanderer, please. I have rapidly ran out of ways to salvage this game upon it. Okay, that's one damage to any target. Go ahead, opponent. We killed all the boys. But we are in obscene amounts of pain. With not paying attention. Why are you in the exile zone, Muxus? I know I put you there, but you didn't have to go. Didn't have to be this way. We can burn down the house next turn? Doesn't even kill a Kaido. What are you good for, Devils? What are you good for? Off the opponent? Goblin Chieftain. Powerful card, I know. Countered. Interesting. Oh, burn down the house. Yeah, another one. Neat. Unexpected, but neat. We're doing it. Just. How many more turns? 7? 7 more turns of this? Won't work anymore because of Kethis, but we had a clock for a moment. Oh, that's bad. Uh, hmm. I believe we have to do this again. You're just not a good Goblin player. Yes, I need to go. One here. One there. Storm's Wrath? Doesn't work this time, does it, opponent? Really? Insane. Cannot believe it, personally. Have you seen my rock? It's very cool. But this is the last stand. Like, we have nothing but our rock. We would have our commander if we hadn't agreed to put him into exile forever. Can we mill out our opponent at this point? We're out of wrath, basically. To deal with planeswalkers, like Bolus's wrath will do it, I suppose. Hour of Devastation, we haven't done that yet. Yeah, we can Hour of Devastation. Our opponent is afraid. Hello and good luck, opponent. I can't believe they phased out with us having 0 cards in hand and no commander. We put the fear into Cabos. We put the fear into him. Even though we've never had it. Just barely limping along. He recognized our relentless desire for Gobo attacks and Gobo death. I still have not figured out what Tasha's accent is supposed to be. I will eventually. Creature Planeswalker opponent. Neat choice. Buff Garrick, yeah, no. If he has more toughness, he dies less frequently. A lot of sense. If I Wrath on this board state, he's basically going to gain back any loyalty he had. Are they like Legendary Tribal Eskia? Isn't that deck just called Yoda? Does Yoda affect Planeswalkers? I've never seen a Yoda Planeswalker deck, but I think they're legendary, right? So he probably should. I don't know if he does, but he probably should. Let's draft some goblins, opponent. We've had a very difficult time killing each other. But our opponent is getting much closer. Legion War boss, you'll have to see it. He's a good goblin. He's not good against Natasha, but he is a good goblin. I think the way the triggers happen, Tasha immediately kills his goblin every turn. We'll see. We might not actually, though, if we're being completely honest, because I think this turn there's no chance for the Mentor to trigger. So the Mentor will not be there to save the Gobo. But like if we were attacking in and we could attack with Legion Warboss, I still think the Tasha trigger would happen first. The token would die and then the Mentor would fizzle. I think that's the way that would work, but I'm not 100% on that interaction. Because the cards had like what? Oh, you don't have a date on you, and you don't have a date on you. Real Magic cards have dates, man. They tell you when they were printed. That way you know. But no. These cards do not. We know why. Good old Luca, man. He had a bit of a rough spot. And he never really recovered, I don't think. I think he's one of like the 3 people that died during the Phyrexian invasion of the multiverse. I think like 3 people died. Cameo died. Uh, yeah. Who else died during the Phyrexian invasion? Was it just Tameo and Luca? That can't be true. Tybalt died during the assault. He got off camera, which was hello, bro. Hello, below for a cool guy. It was very cool. Don't need to see any more, opponent. Don't need to see any more. GG. Well, I think we'll leave it there. I'm going to rack my head around who died during the Phyrexian invasion. In the meantime, if you liked the video, despite the losses, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.